Hello and good morning, y'all, and welcome to Parking Garage Rally Circuit. This game here is a love letter to the Sega Saturn, and in particular Sega Rally, with a little bit of a Trackmania twist to it. And so far, I love this game. I do need to get some disclosure out of the way though. This game is not officially released yet, and it is part of Steam's Tiny Team Festival, which I'm lucky enough to cover every year. So that does mean I did receive this game to review. Put that out of the way, let's get on into it. So, like I mentioned, this game is a love letter to the Saturn, even down to the options menu, which looks just like an action replay for the console, which made me nerd out. Such a nice touch. You actually have a lot of graphic options here, so you can tailor this game to look exactly how you want, low resolution and like CRT style, or super high res. I went for a bit of a mix. I went for full resolution and CRT. I think that looks great. But there's plenty of options to make this game just kind of feel exactly how you want it to feel. So in this game, there are 3 different kind of rallies here, or circuits, for light, heavy, and ultra class vehicles. I've done the light class, that's what I'm going to feature in this video as well. And you have a little bit of car customization with like custom numbers and paint and so on and so forth. And here is our track selection, from the Learning Garage all the way up to Liberty Island. These tracks range from really easy to mind-numbingly tricky. But yeah, let's just get into it and talk about how the game actually plays. You have a bit of a starting boost here, but this is a time trial racer with a heavy focus on drifting. So you have 2 drifts, right? The very starter drift with yellow flames under your vehicle, which is just a quick speed boost. And then you also have the blue drift, which happens when you drift for a bit longer, which gives you a heavier speed boost, but it takes a bit longer to build up. And as you can see, very easy to lose control of your car, but that's not a fault of the game controlling bad. It is a fault of me trying to get really good times. Because this game is incredibly addictive, trying to up your best time. You can see a bunch of ghosts on here, including the #1 in the world, someone right behind me, and my best personal ghost as well. So it's fun trying to compete against all of it and see if I can kind of do better than what I've done before. It's going to be very tricky to top what I've already done, because I am like #2 in the world right now on this track, with like only like half a second to go before I'm #1. We'll give this track one more go here before we move on to a different one. But it's a very simple game. Just drift away and just have fun. This game is just awesome. The drifting system in the game is unlike any other drift I've ever kind of dealt with. A lot of this game, like, you gotta kind of just trust the drift to work. And by that, I mean, a lot of the drifting, like, you gotta kind of, like, let go of the analog stick and just let the car do what it's gonna do. Or you can lean into, like, the drifting and go for these really sharp turns. Either way, there's a bit of, like, you kind of get the feel for, like, what kind of drift you need pretty quick. And it controls so well. And this game kind of puts you in a bit of, like, a flow state, actually. It reminds me a lot of, like, kind of playing F-Zero, where you kind of get, like, honed in on the game, and, like, nothing else around you is even happening. You're just so focused on the game and nothing else, and just things happen, like, automatically. It's incredible, really. Let's go for the second race here, Mount Rushmore. So yeah, it's really hard to commentate and play this at the same time. There is a starting drift you can get, or a starting boost if you hit gas when it says set. Wanted to point that out. And certain terrains will definitely slow you down a little bit here as well. But yeah, no, this game has just been an absolute joy so far. An absolute joy. Here's some environmental hazards to deal with. A few tracks have them, a few don't. I don't know what else to say besides the fact that if this game looks good to you, then it's probably going to be really good for you. It's just, I've been having such a blast. One thing that really brings this game together too is the soundtrack, which you can hear in the background maybe. It might be a bit faint, I don't know. But it has like a bit of like a ska vibe to it, maybe Real Big Fish sound to it, which just reminds me immediately of Tony Hawk. But some tracks go full on Sonic R, which you'll, I think, hear on the next track. And it gets really cheesy, but so happy. Just, they really nailed the whole, like, 90s vibe to this game, and in particular, the Sega Saturn vibe to it. And if you're a Saturn gamer, you know right away this game nails the Saturn vibe. With like the mesh transparencies going, and just the way the 3D models in general look. They did such a good job. It's amazing. Here we go. San Francisco. I believe this has a bit of like a Sonic R song to it. You'll know what I mean once it gets going. But, oh my god. There's really, what you see is what you get with this game, and just the track design's great. The controls are great. I know I disclosed that I got sent review code for this game, but I assure you I'm not paid in any way. I just think this game is, like, borderline perfect. It feels good. It feels like someone knew exactly what they wanted to make, and they fine-tuned it perfectly. And, like, almost any mistake that happens in this game, it feels like it's genuinely my fault, and not the game's fault. If I were to criticize anything, though, sometimes some turns kind of come up a little bit blind. Especially if you've, like, raced on the tracks a few times, or kind of got warmed up. It'd be very, very tough to anticipate what's about to happen. So, like, it does happen, until I played through the track a few times. Oh, but that's such a minor gripe, because like, you can restart so quick, and the races are so fast, too. Man, listen to that music in the background, just the cheesiness of it. Oh, I love it. Okay, just big ups to the developer on this. It's mechanically very simple, but incredibly, incredibly addictive. And just going for big, like, good leaderboard times, man, I was just addicted. Oh my god, please flip back up. Too bad my races here are really bad, but remember like how I mentioned there's like a bit of a flow stage to this game? Commentating and playing this game, incredibly difficult, because it means I gotta like take resources out of driving and put it into talking. Which means the driving definitely gets sacrificed a bit. But, oh my god, again, just so good. Which is like why all my times here are so much worse. Like that time's like 7 seconds worse than my best. Let's go to like the big final track here, Liberty Island, because there is a wicked thing towards the end of a lap that shows like how tricky this game can get. And then maybe I'll try a quick trick heavy class race. See how different it feels? I'll call it a video. Because honestly, there's really not much to say about this game outside of the fact that, like, hey, it's a Sega Saturn, Sega Rally based game with a heavy focus on drifting and time trial. There's also a multiplayer mode available, which I have not been able to test, so I can't really speak on it. But again, like, if this looks like a game like, hey, I might like this, you probably will. Like, you honestly and truly probably will like this if it looks like it'll be fun to you. Like, I cannot recommend this enough. I've been geeking out over this game all night. Oh my god. Yeah, so the end of this track, there is actually a huge, like, rainbow road-style path here that you gotta drift up. And it's tricky. Especially if you don't have momentum going onto it. I was able to nail it for like one run. But otherwise, it has been very hard trying to get this just right. And what makes it the trickiest is the fact that you gotta hop the Statue of Liberty. So if you're not going at least, I think it's 66 kilometers an hour there, you will literally hit the Statue of Liberty and crash and burn. But yeah, it's tough. This game's like, it's definitely not a freebie. Alright. So this time's not going to be any good. It's only lap 1. There's a full lap of it. Let's go try a different weight class. Let's do it. Heavy class. I have no numbers on. Let's go... Yeah, let's go with that. Like basic, and let's be number... Let's Jim carry it with the 23. And I believe it's going to be the same tracks all over again, starting with Learning Garage here. I'll let you know if this feels any different. Oh god, yeah it does. Holy crap. The drifting in this feels like it's coming way more from the front of the car right now. Oh my god. That feels really good. What the hell? Oh my god, that feels good. Holy shit. Sorry. This is just a good feeling car. Oh my god. Sure, I just spun out, but I don't care. I was expecting the worst of the heavy, because usually I don't like heavy classes for cars. Whew. Where did they put me on the leaderboard? Number 2. Not many people have really done heavy yet. It's number 2 out of 5. If I didn't have that crash, I probably would have been number 1. Let's do Mount Rushmore as well for this, and we'll probably call it a video. Because I've kind of like said all I really gotta say, and I think you've probably seen all you really gotta say. Just what a cool game, man. And again, this game is not fully released yet, so I don't know like what's planned to be different in the full release. Whether there's more tracks or cars, or maybe just like just a few more optimizations. I don't know really. This was the code and the build of the game I was sent to check out, and it feels good to me. This feels like good to release to me so far. It's a very impressive thing. Oh my god. How did that even happen? Oh well. Don't think I'm getting my gold now. Unlucky. I got all turned around, but that's okay. It is what it is. I think we get the point. I love this game. Let's just go drive off the edge, shall we? Can we drive off the edge? Does it let us? Hold on, how far can we get? Aww. Ah, well. No race finish for me. But, oh my god. Just, again, cool-ass game. Super fun. I got one more gold trophy to get in Light as well. But yeah, just... I can't say enough good about this. If this game looked good to you, and it's like tickling an itch that you never knew that you had, or you knew you had but weren't sure was ever going to get like scratched, add this to your wish list, or buy it if the game's out when you watch this video. Just, oh my god, I love it. I just love it. But I'll have this game's Steam page linked in the description down below. But that's Parking Garage Rally Circuit. Just awesome Sega Saturn, Sega Rally Trackmania style drift races with time trials. It's almost entirely time trials. And here's your little multiplayer menu too if you're curious, where you can set up lobbies. Cool. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gushing. I love this. Thank you all so much for watching. Y'all have a lovely day. And as always, toodles, y'all.